Yeah.
It should not be hard.
No one has a heart to tell.
Nice to see you too, like,
Yeah.
drive through there.
We'll take it.
Act first before we- 17.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
He looked up.
الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على رسولنا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه وأتباعه وسلم. So I'm sitting like this to see everyone, if you don't mind. Okay, so last week we started discussing love versus fear of the Creator. We talked about love a little bit last week, and today's khutbah was about fear. So, alhamdulillah, they did a good job about fear of Creator. So, I'll be focusing on three words or three terms in Quran. So, one is love, and Quranic term for that is hubb. And fear is khawf, using the Quranic term or Arabic term for that. And then there's this taqwa, which is a third term, which, as today's khatib was referring to taqwa when he said fear. Taqwa is a more wider concept, sometimes translated as fear, sometimes translated as consciousness. Both taqwa and khawf is being repeated, also hubb, being repeated a lot in Quran. So as I was just Googling the word in Quran, like, I don't know, hundreds of times, both, like all three terms are mentioned. Here in the slides, I will just put a few examples in there, but I'll try to explain what I came up to be a conclusion after studying various verses or interpretations. So last week, these were the set of questions that I put as a starting point. Do I block?
Oh, no, it's
Okay. So, these are more, I would say, questions that are generally asked when we talk about love of God, fear of God, and whatnot. So, question sounds more like, what does it mean to love God? Do I love God? Shall I love God? Why not? Same with, what does it mean to fear God? Do I fear God? Shall I fear God? Why not? And also, can the two be reconciled was another question. And then these were for hubb and khawf, like love and fear. And then there's this third concept, which is taqwa. What is that? What does that mean? So these were the initial questions that I set. But for today, I would like to take it from a quite different perspective. But before doing that, I'll just give you a few of the example verses from Quran, just to put it as a baseline. So this verse and the next we have seen last week. I'll just read the translation here. Behold, in the creation of the heavens and the earth, in the alternation of the night and the day, in the sailing of the ships through the ocean for the profit of mankind, in the rain which Allah sends down from the skies, and the life which He gives therewith to an earth that is dead, in the beasts of all kinds that He scatters through the earth, in the change of the winds and the clouds which they trail like their slaves between the sky and the earth. Here indeed are signs for a people that are wise. So this is how the Creator is setting the stage. And comes next verse. Yet there are men who take others besides Allah as equal. They love them as they should love Allah. But those of faith are overflowing in their love for Allah. If only the unrighteous could see, behold, they would see the penalty. That to Allah belongs all power, and Allah will strongly enforce the penalty. So the love is here being framed in a setup or mentioned right after mentioning everything that we observe in our everyday life. So I would like you to keep that in mind. How does Quran frame love in the first place? Just think about it for a second. This is example one that I would like to show you. Then comes fear, which is again being mentioned a lot in Quran. Just I'm going to pull up a few verses here. So one example, for me, I have set my face firmly and truly towards him who created the heavens and the earth. and I shall never give partners to Allah. This is Ibrahim alayhi salam's, he is conversing with his people. And in the next verse, he says, his people disputed with him. And this is his response. He said, you dispute with me about Allah when he has guided me. I don't fear the beings that you associate with Allah unless my Lord wills. My Lord comprehends in his knowledge all things. Will you not think? So here, fear is being mentioned. This is khawf. What does it mean to fear things becomes a question for me. I need to think about this because we said fear of Allah, but Ibrahim alayhi salam here is saying that I'm not fearing the things that you attribute to the Creator. When we read such verses, we should not take it as, oh, there is no idol worshiping anyways. So why shall I be fearful of, like, who is threatening me with their gods anymore? Like, nobody says that, oh, don't say this, Zeus is going to kill. I mean, no such thing, right? How is these verses relevant to me? So we'll get to there. But just I'm trying to put a few verses in there to draw a framework, and you'll understand better where I'm trying to take you to once I pose the questions. So Ibrahim alayhi salam keeps going with the conversation. How should I fear the beings you associate with Allah when you fear not to give partners to Allah without any variant having been given to you? Which of the two parties has more right to security? Tell me if you know. So fear, like those two words that I highlighted here, one of them is khawf, again, fear. The other one is amn, security. So he's saying that you do not fear associating partners to the Creator. And why shall I fear? And it is those who believe and confuse not their beliefs with wrong that are in security, for they are under right guidance. In those verses, there seems to be a comparison between fear and security. So this is how Quran is introducing these two words now to us, fear versus security. I would like you to focus on those words as I'll be asking you some questions, okay? And by that, what I'm trying to do, I should also tell you that Quran, as we have been mentioning in these discussions, Quran is like, there are no quote unquote religious questions. There are questions, there are problems. Like, your mother made you upset today, that's your problem today. Introduce that problem to Quran. Your friend made you upset or made you happy. This is something that you're engaged with today, right? That means your Creator is giving this to you as today's duty. Like, let's say a professor sends an email saying that this is today's assignment, right? Students are supposed to learn something out of this assignment, right? You're upset today, you're happy today. That means your Creator is giving you an assignment today saying that learn something out of that. Then the question becomes, how do I make sense of that? What is the point of that, right? Fear, love, these are feelings that we all have. And I'm not talking about fear of God yet, just the fear itself or love itself. What is it for? You love someone, you hate someone, or you are fearful of someone. Where's that coming from? So we need to focus on that. From there, we will get to fear of God, love of God. Let's first start from the feeling of fear and love itself. And this is why, as Quran is now introducing those to me, it's talking about fear of things versus fear of Creator, love of things versus love of Creator. So we'll get to that. And finally, this is the third concept. And once I pose the questions, I'll let you talk. So it's coming to the end. The first verse, again, there are a ton of verses which talks about taqwa, as today's khutbah was about taqwa from beginning to end. Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu taqullaha haqqa tuqatihi wa la tamutunna illa wa antum muslimun. O you who believe, have taqwa of Allah as He deserves, and die not except in a state of Islam. I'm going to make it lowercase I, because uppercase I means a certain religion, but Quran is وَأَنْتُمْ Muslimun. This is like state. It's not necessarily, identify yourself within this cultural entity. Being in a state of Islam means be submissive to the truth that you concluded. You agree upon something. You say that, yeah, I'm a Drexel student, but you are anything but a student. So you never submitted to the reality or the mindset of being a student. So holding this student identity card doesn't mean anything. Like you didn't submit your reality, right? You're not a student really, other than a title. So when Antum Muslimun means be the submitter, be the one who acts according to their convictions. Anyways, in there was this term, ittaqullah, be conscious of the Creator. And then there's this other verse, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu la ta'kulu riba ad'afan mudha'afatan wattaqullaha la'allakum tuflihun wattaqun nar allati u'iddat lil kafirin. So taqwa is mentioned twice in these two neighboring verses. In the first one, it says, "O you who believe, devour not usury," like do not take interest, doubled and multiplied, but have taqwa of Allah, and I'm intentionally keeping the word as itself, that you may attain salvation. Have taqwa from the fire. So now, in the first verse, taqwa is used for have taqwa of Allah. In the second verse, it says have taqwa of fire, or which is prepared for those who cover up the truth. Like, وَاتَّقُوا النَّارَ الَّتِي أُعِدَّتْ لِلْكَافِرِينَ. So that fire, which is prepared for kafirin, the ones who intentionally cover up the truth. Okay, so these are the concepts. I just introduced you some verses, but let's talk about them and walk through them slowly. Here are some questions I ask you about love, and I would like to hear your answers. Can you list me a few things that you love the most? I want to hear it from you. And we will work on that. Parents? Okay, you love your parents. Good. What else? Parents are claimed. Anything else?
My cat.
Your cat. Okay, you love your cat. Nice. What else? We have a parent. Yes. What, do you love something?
Socks.
Socks?
Yeah, like funny socks.
Okay, funny socks. Cool. Is this the thing that you love most? Oh, it's good. Okay, that's cool. Funny socks. You love a lot, man. What's it?
You can say comfort.
Comfort or joy? Okay, comfort of your car. Kuwaiti. Oh, yourself. Okay. What else? Anything else? Come up. Time? Come on. I mean, make something easier. What is time? Okay. You wouldn't have an answer for what time is, but you're loving it, right?
Siblings.
Siblings. Okay, somebody loves siblings. Kauthar, our president. What else?
Feelings.
Feelings?
Yeah.
What sort of feelings? Fear? Do you love?
No.
Okay, then be more specific.
Like I don't know, the feeling of love itself.
Or-
The feeling of peace.
Do you love being loved?
Yes.
Oh, you love it. Everybody loves it, right?
Yeah.
Being loved. We love being loved, right? For whatever reason. What else? Anything else?
I also love loving.
You love loving too.
Yeah.
What if you love someone
Yeah.
and that someone doesn't respond to you? Do you still love the feeling of love, or you hate that love now?
No, I still like it.
I doubt about it. I doubt about it. Because you love because you want to be loved most of the time. If you don't get loved, that love turns into enmity. This is human. I mean, this was very interesting for me to figure out, really. You feel like, oh, I love that person. I mean, boy, girl, whatever. And you feel like, oh, this is so good. As if it's something good about you. And it's like, no matter what happens, I will keep loving. If you think carefully about it, you want to be loved. If that person stops loving you or stops responding to you, would you still keep loving? So why were you loving in the first place? Because you wanted to be loved. We love being loved. We love being acknowledged. So the love itself, we use that word a lot, very easily. And especially with the Hollywood, the romantic version of love nowadays, with more recent literature and cinema, we have a very unrealistic view of love, practically speaking. Anybody else? You don't love anything? Go ahead.
I love my football club that I follow.
What club?
The football club that I follow.
Football club. Okay, what's that? Barcelona?
Liverpool.
Liverpool. Okay, British. Okay, somebody loves Liverpool. I mean, that's interesting, actually. That's about salawat, which is not our topic today. What do you support? Salat means support, right? What do you support? You support Liverpool. An interesting topic to in the future discuss, inshallah. Okay, it looks like people do not love that much. Cats, socks, parents, siblings, being loved,
Nature.
nature, at least food. Okay,
Friends.
friends, some of them, not all of them. Right? Okay. Why do you love them? We know we love, but why do we love them? Why do you love your siblings? Why do you love your parents? What makes you love them? Yes.
I think it's because it fulfills a need within you. Like when I said that I love the feeling of loving, even though, like, even if they don't love me back, I feel like it might be different for me than it is for you, because I feel like that fulfills this maternalistic need in me, to like
Okay.
want to be maternal or caring towards someone. So even then it's sort of like selfish still, or it's serving me even when I think I'm loving like unselfishly, it is still serving me.
Okay. Very honest, very straight, and thank you. Jazakallah khair. What else? Why do you love your funny socks? Because they're funny,
I think they're silly and aesthetically pleasing.
pleasing.
Just-
Okay.
It's not something I have to put a lot of mind to when choosing them. It's like, oh,
Okay.
it's fun.
So you do see some sort of a beauty there, which makes you get excited and whatnot. So you say, oh, I love this because it's beautiful or because it's funny. Something to be appreciable in there. How about your cat?
Like, I feel like it's mother. Like, I'm just taking care of my cat.
Okay, so you are the mother or the cat is the mother?
No, I feel like I'm my cat's mother.
Okay, so something about maternity, that's good. Okay, but it's interesting. So that feeling of maternity. Okay. See, you love someone because some feeling is being induced on you. You love that feeling. You don't love the cat, actually. You love the feeling of I don't know, feeling important, not necessarily
Yeah.
important, but something in here. So you don't have,
Yeah, even feeling needed. Like when you love your children, it's because like you want to feel needed, you want to feel like you're important or you're making a difference in someone's life or this world.
very good. So you want to feel important. This is why if the other person, this is very important again, especially for children,
Mhm.
parents, I mean, I'm a parent, I have 2 kids. So when they're little, of course, they are so needy, openly needy, and they love you and whatnot, right? But once they get to this age and then they start saying that I can figure out my own ways, you start feeling useless.
Mhm.
And it hurts so badly because you have been feeling so important for the past 15 years, and now you became useless at the moment,
Mhm.
which is also a good thing about what we mean by, oh, I do everything for the sake of God, right? This is a very common word we keep using. But okay, now the child is not showing that respect to you anymore, or at least not making you feel important anymore. Keep doing the service again. What do we really mean by making things for the sake of God? We should take this for ourselves as a question, not to judge our parents, because eventually you will become parents. But if your cat were to say that, well, you're not doing it for the sake of God, you're just doing it for enjoying the feeling of being important, like motherly, right? Good. Thank you. What else? The parent lover guy. Why do you love your parents? I mean, your father is very cute. I love him too. But
They provided for me, they gave me some stuff that didn't ask for at the beginning.
okay, provided for you. So you get some benefit from there. I mean, something, of course, like I know his father, he's a very kind person. always smiling, and he has a huge heart, mashallah. Alhamdulillah. I'm glad to know your father. So there are very good qualities in that person. Any of you, if you were to know him, even if, I mean, he's not your father, you will still love the guy. He has very good character. So that good character, even if not your father, is worthy of being loved, really. What else? Yeah.
Also about that, I should take care of them. You're looking at providing
Okay, so you love that, or you love the fact that,
both ways that they need me. I have to take care of them.
okay. Okay, I mean, it's going to take me a little off track, so I'm not getting into there, but this was another point. Anything else? What else was there? Love, somebody? What was your love? I forgot.
Football club.
Okay, Liverpool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why do you love Liverpool, really? I mean, there's Barcelona. What's wrong with it?
I like it's relatable when it comes to Liverpool. Like it's a weird relationship with guys in the football clubs. So you just you just pick out one club and you start loving them. But when you really get into that, you find the history of the club and what they really stand for, which makes me love them.
Okay.
That's football clubs.
In most cases, other than loving someone, so in most cases, there is something worthy, like to be appreciable, beautiful, and humans love beauty. Humans appreciate beauty, like you're hardwired. Even you can test this just so that we shouldn't be taking it too, cynical. You can test this with little children. Little children, when they see a little cute kitten, you will see that they will start smiling. I mean, those children didn't still develop a sense of like insincere behavior. Children are very sincerely human. So it's very human to, if you see something cute, I mean, it could be funny socks or a little cat, you love it because it's cute, it's nice, some beauty is there, right? I mean, we can go further with certain benefits that we take as a response of like feeling important and whatnot. But apart from that, beauty is appreciable. It could be in Liverpool as well. I mean, if there is some beauty, you do appreciate it and you love it. This is human. Dua, you had a comment?
Oh, I was gonna say the same thing, that I don't
Okay.
think like all types of love are selfish, because you do see like certain things that we find like beautiful, like a flower or whatever, like a music. So I think some loves are like placed in us by Allah.
Yeah. So we are hardwired to love certain things.
Mhm.
Yeah. Again, I'm avoiding to say Allah yet, because I would like to just go with your understandings
Mhm.
and we will question it. Eventually, we will say what that love is. Okay. So Shanze makes a comment, but sometimes, for example, some of our relatives, parents, or people around us may not reciprocate our feelings, but we should still love them for the sake of Allah. I mean, this is a big word. Yes, we should, but why? Actually, during the khutbah, I took a note to myself. There are many words that became old for us because we overuse them. Taqwa is one such word. We keep repeating this word, or for the sake of Allah, or Islam is the truth. Like these are words, very heavy, very true, but very meaningless for us because we overused them and made them old, not as strong anymore, which requires a big mental effort to feel a meaning into those terms. So I agree with that term that Shanze was saying. We should still love them for the sake of Allah. But what does that mean? Loving for the sake of Allah, what does it really mean? We are, I am guessing, we are blank when it comes to that. If you don't feel like that, that's good. But let's keep discussing and see if my feeling is right or wrong. Okay, I'll keep asking. So how does this love affect you positively, negatively? Loving someone, loving the cat, right? So we also talked about this. You're feeling important sometimes, or just you enjoy the feeling of loving the cat, kitten, or even a sunrise. It might be a breeze, like in the spring. You got stuck in the house during the winter, and the first breeze of spring is beautiful. You enjoy it, you love it, right? Now, this is the key question I would like to ask. Are the things that we love, are they truly worthy of being loved? To give an example, you say you loved your mother, right? But when I said, why do you love your mother? You say, she took care of you, right? Well, actually, what you loved in there is being taken care of. So then, because a mother is consisting of multiple entities, multiple attributes, if you like. Taken care of is one of them. She also has a physical personality, like flesh and bones. She also has sometimes angry, which is also part of your mother. But you're loving your mother because of this taking care, one component of your mother, right? One attribute. To whom does this attribute belong? Is my major question. Like, for instance, to give you an example, if I didn't say that I'm speaking what I understood from Quran, I come here and give a talk, and let's assume what I am saying is so amazing and beautiful for you, just for the sake of argument. You listen, you were mesmerized and say, oh, we love the guy. Why? Because he gave so beautiful of a speech, right? The question is, yes, that speech might be worthy of being loved, but to whom does it belong? If it doesn't belong to me, should you still loving me? Then somebody comes and says, what he said is actually taken from this book, right? So you initially loved me a lot because I spoke so well. And then somebody comes and says, every single word he talked about is taken from this book. What does that mean now? You loved the words that you hear, and the words were coming from a book. Then who is worthy of being loved?
The author of that book.
The words, and also the author of the words. I am just being if you like, a delivery guy who makes it available to you, isn't it? Who is worthy of being loved, truly? Is it the apparent, if you like, deliverer of the words, or the owner of the words? To give another example for that, let's say, this is an example I keep reusing in different setups, but I like the example anyways. I'll give it again. In your birthday, you receive, like, somebody knocks your door, you open FedEx. Here's a package for you. You open the package, very well wrapped, and it's an iPhone. And you just lost your phone a week ago. You were planning to buy, and you were loving to buy iPhone, but since you're poor, you were just looking at the Android phones, right? So you love it so much. And then where did it come from? In the hands of the FedEx guy. You hug and start kissing the guy. I mean, why? You said, oh, because why do you love the FedEx guy? Because he brought me iPhone, right? People will laugh at you. People would say that, yes, you benefited from that, and being given or being gifted an iPhone is to be loved because it shows that somebody is loving you. It's a sign of love, right? Somebody knows you, cares about you, and gifts you an iPhone. But for sure, you know that this is not the FedEx guy. This is why you do not kiss the FedEx guy. And you try to figure out who is sending you that gift. Like, that iPhone being gifted to you is a word of love, but not from the FedEx guy. FedEx guy is just a delivery person. He's not the owner of it. If you now ask the same question, your mother is caring of you. Your cat is, let's say, cute. Or the socks, funny socks, you enjoy them. Where does those appreciable things, to whom they belong? Do they belong to the things themselves, or do they belong to somebody else? When you say, oh, I love that fruit, there's something beautiful and appreciable in that fruit. But who is the owner of that beauty in there? Does the fruit itself own it, or somebody is putting that beauty in there? Who should be praised and loved for that fruit, for that parent, for that cat, for that funny socks, whatever you have? Does it make sense? Is the question clear? Who is your object of love? to summarize it, who is your true object of love? If I take that, well, like this fruit is beautiful. I mean, I cannot deny this. Who is the owner? The fruit to own that beauty. Okay. Okay, so Shanzeh makes a comment. Let's read Shanzeh's comment. These people too are creation of Allah, and like someone said in the discussion, all creation of Allah are beautiful and worthy of love and praise. Loving for the sake of Him would be when you may not agree with the people or they may not always please you, but you understand that these are two people of Allah and sent to us for a reason. This is my understanding, says Shanzeh. Jazakallah khair. Beautiful. Sake of Allah, in this case, what I would understand from that is you love that fruit because you see it as speech of your creator. Or let's say a tree is bringing you a fruit, right? You don't say that, oh, I love these trees. I love nature. I love sunrise. They are bringing you, they are no more than a FedEx carrier. But this is my word. Do you agree with that? This is the more important part. Do you see that anything in this existence, anything, including yourself, like you might be a funny person and you make jokes and everybody loves you because you are so funny, right? Ask the question right there. Where does this funniness come from? Am I the owner of that quality? Or you might be smart, you might be whatever. Like there is something that people love you for, right? Within your community, everybody is distinguished with a certain behavior. Just think about this. What makes you lovable from within your surrounding community? And you feel like, oh, I am smart, right? This is why people love me. Where does this smartness come from? Does it really belong to me? Yes, intellect or smartness is worthy to be loved and appreciated. That's correct. But where is this coming from? Is it mine? Or it is just being shown on me? I am just, if you like, a mirror. Source is coming from outside, but it's being reflected through me. So Hazrat sees beauty on that mirror, but mirrors do not hold the image. They are just reflectors of image, right? Like if you see a mirror and on the mirror, there is the reflection of a very beautiful human being. Would you go and say the mirror, oh, what a beautiful mirror? Like you see a beauty in there, that's right, but the beauty does not belong to the mirror. So you wouldn't love the mirror, but you would love where the original beauty is coming from, because what you love is beauty, and beauty does not belong to the mirror. So in this life, we do love things themselves. Why did I come to here? You remember the verse about love? It started counting things that we tend to love, such as creation of heavens and the earth, alternation of night and the day, sailing of ships through the ocean. Like these are things that you would say, oh yeah, ships sail through the ocean. It's very nice. The Creator is saying that they do not sail in there. It's just, I am creating this every moment. It's me who is acting there. Water do not push anything up. It's me who is taking care of that. Or rain. It's not that, oh, water evaporates, hits some cold air, comes down by itself. The Creator is saying that I am the one who is sending everything. You like rain, right? Because it brings you water, because it's mercifully feeding all the animals and the plants and everything. This is an act of mercy. This is why you love it. Whose mercy is it? Does the cloud have mercy? Does the cloud show any sign of loving you? Does the cloud any different than the FedEx guy who brings you the iPhone? Should you really loving the cloud or the rain itself? Or should you be loving the one who is sending the rain, who is behind the scenes? This is why this verse is followed by, as far as I understand, saying that although this is the case, like in verse number 164, it mentioned everything about things being sent to me and says, yet there are men who take others besides Allah as equal. They love them as they should love Allah. We love the cloud. We love the nature. We love our mother. Not to say that do not love your mother, but correct your love of your mother. When you love your mother, you should be, and I should be conscious that I am loving the one who makes this mother merciful, who makes this mother caring. I love the one who makes me enjoy the feeling of love, because we take it for granted, right? We just say feeling of love is nice. Where did this feeling come from? Because you will feel tortured of that love at some point if you abuse it. Like if you start feeling like, oh, I am such a motherly figure, I love people, the Creator will put you to test with that feeling just so that you realize you're not the owner of that feeling. Because if you are the owner of that feeling, then take it out. Get rid of it. Because now you're feeling pain from that feeling, right? And you should be able to stop it. If you are the source of it, just stop it when it's starting to backfire on you. But you will feel tortured with that. And even that torture is beautiful because it's a reminder. You were abusing something that your Creator gave you to understand Him, but you used it for selfish reasons, or I used it for selfish reasons, saying that, oh, I am such a nice person. The Creator says, are you such a nice person? Okay, let me show you it's not yours. Nothing is yours. You're in this world to get educated. This is why love is such an important thing. Love is source of many of our troubles because we do not know how to properly love, or we are selfishly loving things. And the thing that we love the most is ourselves. Selfishly, we love ourselves more than anyone. Like if you start insulting me here, I won't come next week. Why? Because I love myself. I have the self-dignity. And I say, if they don't love me, I'm not going to show up here again. And this is the case for everyone. We love ourselves more than anyone. Why? Is there anything worthy of being loved within me that belongs to me? Let's assume I have billions of dollars in my pocket and you love me for that. But I know that the money does not belong to me. I'm just a guy working for Drexel, and it's Drexel's money. So tomorrow I'm going to distribute it to people, right? You love me, but I know that it's a fake lie. I say they love my money, not me, right? Because I know that money is not mine. It's Drexel's money. When it comes to somebody loving me because I am smart, why do I take it personal? Is that intellect belonging to me really? Do you really think your intellect belongs to you? Like you guys here are university students, right? You're smart. Is this intellect yours? What do you think about it? And when I ask such a question, please do not take it as, oh, since this is a religious discussion, I need to give religiously correct answer. I'm not looking for that. I'm looking for what is your honest answer to yourself. When you're by yourself and you're looking at the mirror, do you feel like, I look good? If you feel as such, then that means you think beauty belongs to you. This is your conclusion. It's not like God. I mean, there's no notion of God in there. You feel like it's mine and I enjoy being beautiful, which would be similar to I go home, open my wallet and see $1 million in there and I feel rich. But it's not my money, it's Drexel's money. I know it. If I feel secure, then that means I'm a thief. I am stealing Drexel's money and taking it as mine, right? So they love them as they should love Allah is a very interesting word here. I am loving things, loving parents, loving myself, loving, I don't know, anything in this world, Liverpool. Although whatever I observe in there, what is the source of that beauty? I miss that. This is why I start loving the things themselves. And because I love things themselves, the Creator gives me punishment right there. How? This happens a lot with human loves. that human do not reciprocate your love. Even if that human reciprocates your love, then either that person dies or gets old, or you. Like, you're doomed. As humans, we are doomed, really, when it comes to loving the wrong thing, because we are not meant to love things themselves. Does it make sense? What do you think? So, love of God in this case means then, if that beauty is not mine and not my cats or my parents, but they are merely a mirror, a reflection of another most beautiful one, then I would direct my love towards my creator. I would be happy with my parents still, would say that, oh, they are mirrors, so I shouldn't break the mirror, right? If I break the mirror, how am I going to have access to the source? Because the creator is manifesting his love to me through my parents. So this is the means that I am in need of, but this is not where I would be loving, in fact. Yes.
Should you love the mirror as well? Like, you can say there's different kinds of mirrors. Like, one is a good reflector, one is a bad reflector of the image of the creator. So can I not make the case that I should also love the mirror that is reflecting the beauty of the creator this gracefully?
So, I mean, this goes back again to the topic of qadar, because a beautiful mirror, like a mirror is, by creation, every mirror is like a, what's a beautiful mirror? A beautiful mirror is just a glass, nothing on it. A mirror is a beautiful mirror if nothing is messed up with it. But you can distort the mirror. Humans are created as this empty mirror. This is how, when Rasulullah says every child is born into fitrah of Islam, that means every child is clean mirrors created. They don't claim anything to themselves. They don't say that, oh, I am a smart thing or anything. They're clean mirrors. But some bad people make weird choices and distort the image. Then you rightfully can dislike that person, saying that you are distorting the truth. But when it comes to a clean mirror, would you love that mirror? I mean, yes, they did something good. They didn't mess up. This is the part that, but the mirror itself was again made cleanly, created by the creator. So again, I'm going to even love the creator for making this creation as a perfect mirror. But this goes a little deeper. So I don't want to lose you more than I lost you already. So what do you think, folks? Is this part clear? Loving of creator. So either you love creator or you love the created beings. There's no in between. And love of God in this sense really means the loves that we distribute to the things themselves should be actually taken away from them and be sent to the creator, saying that, oh, I love this beautiful fruit. Let's say it's a very beautiful yellow pear. But what is it that I love here? Shape is beautiful, smell is beautiful, coloring is so beautiful and exciting. But who made this? Its particles didn't make that. The tree didn't make it. The fruit itself is not doing it, because if you leave it as it is, it's going to start rotting, right? That beauty comes from someone. Somebody put that beauty there. And I love its maker. So beautiful artist you are, I would say, to my creator. This is love of God. This is why we should be focusing on this existence, this life is as if we are in a art museum. Everything is being just displayed here for us to read, understand, and think about its maker. Sometimes, if you do not know about art, you go to art museum and start discussing, oh, this painting has this much of red color, this much of yellow color, especially if you're an engineer, only thing you know is numbers, right? You start quantifying how many milligrams of yellow color is used. No, this is an artwork, and it tells you about its maker, its artist. So this is what we are supposed to be doing, love, okay? Anything that you would like to add about love portion? So I'm already, we need to get to the fear. Okay, let's get to fear. Same questions. Oh, yeah. So I will finish my questions. I said, what is the source of this love? How about the destination of the love, like the proper love that needs to be done? Let's come to fear. Khawf. As fear is love is a real feeling for everyone, fear is also a real feeling. Like my 1.5-year-old son, he was watching Peppa Pig. Like this is how he eats, right? And at some point, Grampy Rabbit shouts in the Peppa Pig, and he just makes like this. And this is a very, I would say, fitri, like quote unquote natural response. This child is not making it up. He is genuinely afraid for a second, right? Fear is a genuine feeling for human. We are meant to have that feeling. We are hardwired to fear certain things, right? Is there any fearless guy other than Usama? You're also fearful? Okay, you have some fears. Then let's start with you again. List a few things that you fear the most, Usama. Yeah. I shouldn't have asked this to males, but unfortunately, I start with you. Allah? Come on. I mean, this is what we are trying to understand. Don't start from there.
You know, disappointing that actually quite well.
Okay, you are afraid of disappointing someone who affects your life.
That's my description.
Okay. And are you afraid of disappointing your father? To some degree. So to a certain degree, you're afraid of your father. Okay, what else?
Jinn.
Jinn. Okay, somebody is afraid of jinns. And I think it's more like fearing the unknown,
Yeah.
because you don't know what jinn is, but you're just afraid, just in case.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. In Turkish, we don't even pronounce the name. We just say 3 letters, because if you pronounce the name, let me just play it safe. So, yes, what else do you guys are afraid of?
Death.
Death. Very good. Afraid of death? Who is afraid of death here? Okay, a good number of people are afraid of death. You're afraid of your own death. You're afraid of your friend's family's death. Death is scary, right? Yes.
Spiders, insects, anything.
Spiders. Okay, spiders and insects. My wife is also afraid of spiders. Yes, your cat? No, you love your cat.
Like at night, like
Afraid of darkness?
yeah.
Okay. Afraid of being alone.
Natural disasters.
Natural disasters, earthquake. My hometown got destroyed. It's scary. And even people are not able to live there now because, my sister went back to live there again, but smaller earthquakes, they want to escape there. It's scary.
Similar to the disappointing yourself.
Disappointing yourself. Okay. That's a fear. Anything about Liverpool? Them losing? Okay.
I don't know if they're good, but I'm afraid of failure.
Afraid of failure. Okay. Cool. Anything else?
Not being loved back.
Not being loved back. That's big. Yeah. We are afraid of that.
Punishment, torture.
Punishment, torture.
Yeah.
Okay, torture, yes, because there's this fear of pain, I guess.
Like the hell kind of punishment,
Hell kind of punishment. Okay, that's good. At some point, we should discuss hell. Did we ever discuss hell here?
Kind of, but I think we wanted to focus more on like fearing God
Okay.
rather than fearing hell.
Because Creator is putting us fear of also with taqwa. Maybe it's more what taqwa comes like avoid fire, but we are being threatened with fire. That's right.
Mhm.
So that is there. Okay.
It's like I don't remember, but I was like listening to this verse yesterday that was like why wouldn't you fear Allah? Like it's like he is worthy of being feared, and it's different from like fearing hell because that is like its own separate like verses. But there's this notion of like why wouldn't you fear Allah?
Okay. Good. Fear. So why do we fear them? I like death. Would you like to go with why do you fear death?
I have a couple of recalls I still need to make up. I don't think I'm ready for Judgment Day.
Okay, so you are in expectation of a judgment day.
Yeah.
So there's this anticipation. So if somebody comes and says, good news, there's no judgment day. So you're not going to be afraid of death? Like if you were an unbeliever, I mean, you can temporarily put that head to your, like that mentality to your head. If there were no afterlife, no judgment, no nothing, and you're going to be nothing after you die, would you be brave towards death?
Well, some people are.
Even more fearful than.
Or more fearful?
I feel like it's just partly like the only thing we know is life. So like just to think of an absence of it is just really hard to like imagine. And just that unawareness is really like unsettling.
That's part of it. But death is not happening once a lifetime. Actually, it's happening every moment. Like yesterday is dead, it's gone. Let's say you enjoyed the presence of your best friend yesterday, let's assume for the sake of argument, and your friend went to Japan and she's not going to come back again. That relationship is dead now. At least that joyful moment of yesterday's meeting is dead and it's gone. You cannot replicate it. It's gone for good, right? It's dead. And you know how horrible it feels to get separated from that feeling, right? And still, you guys are young, but you will feel this, maybe hear this from your parents. When you look back, your youth is dead. You're not young anymore. You're not as fresh, as strong anymore. And it's going to give you a lot of remorse that youth is dead for you. So we do experience death and we dislike it rightfully because the joys are gone. We do not experience those joys anymore. And death is still in front of me and it's waiting to take away the remaining things that I still enjoy. Like you might still be strong enough to be walking, right? I don't know if you guys have old grandfathers, grandmothers. My grandfather was a very strong man, but to the end of his life, he was just not even, it was a half step that he's walking. Like all his skills are taken away from him. All his skills were dead before he was literally dead. So step by step, we are dying every day anyways, right? And we don't like it because it's taking things away from our hand, right? And we are afraid of that because I love the things that I have or that are being given to me. So them being taken away from me is a threat, right? Economical crisis. If it comes and takes away all your wealth, you would be afraid of that. Like nowadays in Philadelphia, it's not safe to go center city after 6 p.m. or so. Why? You're afraid of your life being taken away from you, right? You enjoy life. Although you might have some troubles in life, still you do enjoy it, right? Despite everything. You don't want it to be taken away from you. So you are having that fear.
But I guess there's a separation between like worry and fear.
Okay.
So it's like, yeah, like I'm worried about the economical crisis, but I'm not scared of it. Like I find fear to be like a very like insidious and foreign kind of feeling almost. And it's like, it's very like earth shattering, and like to me, like how I see it is that, like I'm very comfortable in this life. Like these are things that I'm familiar with. So I know how to like navigate this landscape almost, right? But then tomorrow, if there's like this huge monster in front of me, like that really disturbs my peace. So now I'm not thinking about like my worries aren't my worries anymore, like it's just this, I don't know, it's just very like potent, very like huge.
So like right now, let's say you are not worried about cancer.
Yeah.
Because it's not part of your like daily conversation.
Yeah.
But you will start being worried about it and taking either your life or a beloved's life once it becomes a possibility. So in fact, you are afraid of it, but it's just not part of your reality yet.
Okay.
If it becomes your reality, you're going to start feeling some fear towards it. And the reason again is it's going to take away something that you hold in your hands. So fear is real. we do have all those fears. We are fearful of things around us. As we love things around us, we are fearful of things around us as well. We need to ask the same question. Okay, we talked about this. How does this fear affect you positively and negatively? I mean, mostly fear is a negative thing. But like, I guess the positive sense of it is if you are afraid of diseases, you're just trying to avoid doing certain things. But negatively, it might get you paralyzed. Like you might be afraid of your boss. I mean, it's not the same type of the fear that you would have if you were watching Hannibal, like the scary movie. But it's still a fear that you are afraid that your boss is going to lay you off, not give you a raise, or make fun of you in front of everybody else. There are all different types of fear that you can have, right? And it can, especially the negative side of it, that fear, with that fear actually, there was a fear of failure, right? With that fear of failure, how much do we work nowadays? Like you don't want to, you're coming from India, your parents are still there.
Yeah.
So you don't want them to hear that, oh, he failed, he's not successful, right? Especially in this age, success is everything, right? You don't want to be the shame of your family. Do you care about your family? More so, you care about your self-image. You want to be that valuable person. And now they say that, oh, he went there and he failed, right? So your self-image is going to be shattered and you don't like that. You are fearful of failure because of that, right? What is the consequence of that? You or any of us would work day and night for people to say that, oh, he's a good guy. Just to hear that word, we put so much effort. That fear makes us work or make decisions that otherwise you wouldn't make. Like if you were alone in the world, you wouldn't do many of the things that you are right now doing because we have those fears and became enslaved by those fears sometimes, right? We are trying to just appear nice to other people so that they appreciate me, so that I feel like I am valuable, right? So it really negatively affects us. That fear can negatively affect us a lot, making us slaves, really, of anything and everything. I might be afraid of COVID. I might be afraid of like space invasion, if I'm that crazy. Or I might be afraid of death, which is very real. So, and all these are affecting our everyday choices a lot. Pretty much our everyday choices are based on love and fear, quite a lot. Now the question is, again, the same question. I'm asking the same questions. I mean, it was easy to prepare the slides. I just prepared one, copy paste it. Are the things that you fear truly worthy of that fear? Shall I really be fearful of death? What is the source of harm? Or the harm that I think about, is it really a harm? Because as I am thinking that, let's take COVID, because people were very afraid of COVID 2 years ago. I mean, nowadays, maybe it's not as such, but we were very afraid of COVID because many people were dying from COVID, right? So, am I justified fearing COVID? If COVID is an independent entity comes and takes my life, now I have to fight against it because somebody comes and takes my life for nothing, right? But is COVID an independent entity acting on its own behalf? To give you an example, this is a little cryptic. What I said is a little cryptic. Let's make it a little easier. Like if somebody comes with guns inside, puts it to here and says, give me money. We are going to be afraid, right? Everybody agreement with that? Other? Okay, yeah, Apple Pay. Yeah, so last year I didn't have any money in here. So this year I withdraw $60 just to give examples during the discussion. So if they come, I'll give them paper money. But yeah, we generally don't have paper money. So we would be afraid. But if it was not like this unknown guy, but it was Drexel police comes in with the guns. Are you going to be the same fear? I mean, still you might feel a little uneasy because police is in America. And anyways, it's getting recorded. So, but if it's Drexel police, you would feel a little different. It would be very different than this guy with the covered head and then just coming with full gear. If it's Drexel police, you wouldn't be as fearful. Still, you will have some certain fear of unknown. Why are these guys here? Look, you will be fearful of the unknown yet, but since the guy is coming from the authority, which you think that, oh, these guys are here for not killing me, they're here for protection, right? You're not going to be fearful. How do you take COVID? If I take COVID as this independent entity, which is out there and here to just take away my life, I'm going to be afraid of the COVID itself. But if I do see that nothing in this existence happens by itself, the giver of life, taker of life is my creator. COVID is just an official of my creator as Drexel police. If it comes, still you would say, why are you here? I mean, you will ask them. You will not simply say, oh, come and kill me, of course, right? You will ask that, but you will be much more secure when you see it all. Because once you see the badge, you will know that this Drexel guys, these are like friends. They are not enemy. Do you see the badge in the hands of COVID? COVID comes and says, I am coming from your creator. Your creator said that, Yusuf, it's time for you to step out of the game now. Soccer. It's like, step out of the game now. This was the portion that you were supposed to be studying in this existence, in this playing in this game. And the captain says, step out. And then you will say, okay, I'm not going to fight against the captain because the guy is coming and giving you the command of the captain of the team, right? The guy is not saying that the referee is in the soccer, referee points the number, right? So if the referee was an independent entity and referee shows your number to get replaced in the game, what would you say? You would just say, no, I'm not. Who are you? And you will start arguing with the referee, right? But you realize once you know that actually the referee is showing that number because the captain said that, or what's it? Manager said that you need to get out of the game. As it happens with most of the soccer players, they would just silently leave the room, right? Leave the field. So if I see COVID as the police of my creator, then I wouldn't be as much having as fear from that. So fear in this case is again a paralyzing thing in our lives as love is because we are fearing the wrong thing. But now, I'm over time, but let's conclude. What does it mean to fear God then? So my creator is sending this COVID to me. My creator is the one who sends death to me. What sort of a fear am I going to have? Let's give another example, one final example. I'm trying to be a decent father, but with my kids, I need to draw some boundaries. Like otherwise, they would just ask for more and more of anything that they enjoy, right? So at some point, I need to be serious. And if they don't eat, I would say, eat your food, sort of a thing. Trying to be polite, not to be abusive, but I need to somehow draw a boundary at some point. For my child's good. I'm not going to benefit. The child should eat so that the child, we are going to sleep better if they eat well. But aside from that, for the child's own development, child needs to eat that food. But he doesn't want to for naughtiness or whatever, right? So I say, no, you have to eat it. Otherwise, I'm not going to let you watch Peppa. Like we also use some sort of a threatening, or we would say, or I'm not going to give you this, I'm not going to do that, right? So the child is afraid of my threat because this is the immediate threat in front of the child. And I'm putting that threat for the good of the child. And actually, eventually you develop this sense. You are afraid of your father's threats, but again, you go and say, oh, please. To you are asking from the mercy of the one who threatens you, because you know that he is threatening you so that to draw a boundary, because humans are not drawn natural boundaries. What do I mean by that? Like birds, they have boundaries. You know what a bird means, right? Birds are not lions. Lions are these very, brave animals, strong animals, but they're not like sparrows. Sparrows are very soft-spirited. When you see the animal, you say, oh, such a soft spirit is here, right? For human can be as soft-spirited as a sparrow, can be as brave as a lion, can be as, I don't know, just look at the whole animal kingdom. Human can become any one of them. Human is not drawn any natural boundary. This is how we are. This is why since we are not put any physical or natural boundaries, comes revelation, because we are given this intellect and choice, then comes revelation, and messenger says, here are the boundaries for you. You are going to set those boundaries by understanding, because those animals, they do not understand. This is why the creator put those boundaries around them. They cannot go beyond that. But you human, you can become a dog, you can become a pig, you can become whatever, or you can become the best of the humans, right? So choosing those, drawing those boundaries is necessary, and we tend to leave those boundaries. So we are in need of being warned. And fear in this case becomes someone comes and says, you're not going to pass that boundary. And I'm worried. I'm here not talking about the upsetting portion. It's not about upsetting. Upsetting is a meaning, but I'm not talking about upsetting here. My child is afraid of me, say, just even frowning, or just because this is anger. It's not like, oh, I'm not going to upset my father. It's more like my father is not going to give me pepper. However you would like to take it, right? So this, yet it's not that. Why that fear is not bad? Because this is where the question, Dua's question was coming from, is that version of fear of my child from me bad or disturbing or dangerous? No, my child itself, himself, herself, enjoys that, because we do feel that this sort of a limitation comes from mercy. It's about caring about me. This is why the same child who I am threatening, we will keep playing the next moment as well. He will come and query my mercy, trying to be nice, right? This is how we are with the Creator. In this existence, I am given those boundaries. So I am not afraid of the death itself, but my Creator is putting death in there and saying that, see, all those moments are dying. And you do not like it, right? Your joys are dying. You don't like it, right? Then come to me and let me tell you a way how to make your moments eternal. Wouldn't you be happy for that? Like, imagine I give you $1,000 and every moment I take away $1 from you. You will run out of money eventually. You know that. Somebody comes and says, you don't like this money being taken away from you, right? Yeah. Let me show you a way how you can invest with this money and your $1,000 will become $1 million. How would you do that? I am interested in that deal. Yes, sure. So this is why with the fear of death, or this, I should say, oh, my maker, I don't want to lose that money. I don't want to lose this life. I don't want to lose the joy that you are giving to me right now. And grave is there. It's getting closer. How can I make a deal so that it's going to be an unending life? Because I guess everybody in here wants to live eternally, right? No? So you don't you want to have as many funny socks as you can? You enjoy them.
I don't have enough space.
That's right. You don't have enough space. So what if I provide you enough space too? This is our desire for eternity. I mean, the word eternity sounds a little weird, but in fact, the example that I give to students, mostly males, since they are more into playing computer games, right? So they do love playing computer games. I say, do you want to live eternally? They do it like this. I say, okay, what if the game you play comes with an update the moment you start to get bored, meaning you will never get bored from playing this game. And then you can play it eternally. Why do we get bored of something? Either we are not able to take more of that fun, or we don't have enough space. But the feeling, if those problems are taken away, then you would say, oh yeah, sure, I would enjoy it forever. If I have enough space and enough variety of funny socks, then it's not going to start getting repetitive. Infinitely many socks you would have. And you would say, a human would say, okay, I love that. This is love for eternity, right? How can I make life so that it's going to become eternal? How can I beat death? So this is why dying is beautiful. The Creator, it's an invitation. Dying is an invitation. The Creator is saying that come to me. Only I can give you eternity. So fear of Allah, fear of death, if I channel it to true source, I would say, oh, my Creator, you are the one who gives death, and I'm afraid of death. It becomes a way that I go back to my Creator. Otherwise, I wouldn't be worried about it. It's a reminder. Like if you don't have a toothache, your teeth is rotting, but you don't have a pain. Your whole mouth is going to become empty. So that toothache is a good thing. It's a wake-up call saying that come to the dentist. Mm-hmm. So our dislike of death, our fear of death is an invitation of my Creator to him, saying that you're afraid of death, right? Oh, I am the giver of death. It's not a terrorist. It's a police that I sent you. So come to me. So we should be utilizing this fear properly. So fear of Allah in this case this is why I wanted to start with our real fears. And what does that fear mean? Is it a justified fear? Mm-hmm. And what would be but still, we have those fears. We are given those fears. So how to make it properly use of it? Fear of Allah means I'm not afraid of COVID anymore, but I am afraid of, or I want to be careful of, or just to understand, I don't like death. I don't like COVID. Oh, my Maker, why did you send this? I know it's your police now. It's not an independent terrorist, but how do I deal with that? I don't like death. Then he would come and say, oh, I have an eternal life for you. Would you like an eternal life? Then let me explain you. This is where the Prophet will come, where the revelation will come. And that's why khawfullah, fear of Allah, is an invitation. And to understand what khawfullah is, we need to face our fears of things first and see if they are justified fears. If any of those are worthy to be afraid of, in fact, or I am afraid of them because I take them to be independent terrorists rather than seeing them as the officials of my Creator. If I do see them as police or the officials of my Creator, the whole scene changes now. And then still, it now becomes the relationship like between me and my son. Still, my father is serious, or I am serious with my son, saying that, no, you have to do this. Otherwise, I'm going to punish you. But that punishment, and he will punish me. Like if I don't eat, maybe he's going to slap me. But it's for my good, so that I do not pass that boundary. So that fear is a useful fear, right? That was khawf. And we didn't do taqwa, but we are out of time anyways. So the rest of the questions are here. Can love and fear be reconciled? It becomes the same thing, to be honest. Love and fear becomes the same thing. And there is a nice poem about this. It says, no, not for love. Okay, I messed it up. Anyways, love and fear are leading to the same thing. You love things wrongfully, it gives you pain. You fear things wrongfully, it gives you pain. Through things, you start loving its true source. It gives you this perfect satisfaction. Through things, you fear the true source, and it makes you know your boundaries and again go back to your Creator. So even the love of fear of Creator is something to be loved and enjoyed in this sense. Taqwa, we couldn't do it.
Are we going to come back to this topic or not?
Maybe we can stop here since today's khutbah was talking about taqwa. I mean, I could have said something different, but let's stick with that. Taqwa is more like consciousness. What do you think, folks? Shall we discuss what taqwa is? Would you be interested in hearing that next week, or we shall discuss another topic?
I like to go friends.
I like
Taqwa?
to-
Taqwa. Okay, so next week, then let's discuss what taqwa is. And for the week after, we can take another question. Well, we have a plenty number of questions already, but if you are interested in any other topic, let us know. سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم وآخر دعواهم أن الحمد لله رب العالمين.